Hi, I'm Darcy Loma, and we just finished another free workout in the Thoughtfully Fit gym. And if you missed it, we're so sorry. It was really good. However, we want to give you a recap and give you an overview because today we had a big group of people, and I think that speaks to the need of this topic and how much I know I need it, and certainly by the attendees, how much we need. And it was all around boundaries.
And let's take a look at what is a boundary, right? We hear all the time about people wanting to set boundaries, enforce their boundaries, understand boundaries. And I love this definition from Brene Brown of how she defines a boundary is getting really clear on what's okay and what's not okay. Or to put a little bit differently, what will you say yes to and what will you say no to? One of my favorite kids in my life plays soccer, and I always love going to his games because, okay, one, they're super cute kids playing soccer. But also it's always very clear what's in bounds and what's out of bounds. There's no wondering if this is in bounds or out of bounds. There's no doubt that if a kid goes out of bounds, the referee is going to blow the whistle. And yet when it comes to our personal life or our work life, and that was one of the things that we explored as well, of how different it can be, either easier in work or in life, but how everything just seems to get squishy a little bit when it comes to setting boundaries in our actual life. So what we looked at was 3 different tips of what you can do when you are setting boundaries. And so we're going to share these with you here. Tip number 1, keep the focus on what you are going to do or not do, and not what other people are going to do or not do. And so if you're leading a meeting and you tell people to be on time, you need to be on time for this meeting. Well, that's telling other people what they need to do. The boundary you can set is, I'm going to start the meeting at 10 o'clock. That's in your control. That gets really clear on what it is that you are going to do. Tip number 2, then, once you decide for yourself and clearly define what that boundary is, because that can take just some effort of getting clear what is okay, not okay. What will you say yes to, say no to? Then you need to communicate that very clearly with anybody else who might be involved. So if you're looking to set a boundary that I'm going to take a lunch, right? Like let's just get down to brass tacks here, right? You're going to take a lunch and you're not going to be answering emails while you are eating your salad. Letting folks know, whether that's on an out of office email or just, anybody directly, saying from 12 to 12:30, I'm not going to be responding to emails. My door is going to be closed. I need that time to enjoy my salad, to get recentered for the day. And then number 3 is just getting clear on the consequences. And sometimes when we hear consequences, we think it's punitive or punishment or something like that. What we're saying with consequences here is just what's going to happen if that boundary gets crossed. Right. So I just finished watching Ted Lasso, right? So Roy Kent, when a boundary gets crossed, he yells, whistle, whistle, right? The ref will actually blow on the whistle, whatever it is. And so if that boundary gets crossed, what's going to happen? So everybody is clear. And so if somebody knocks on your door, it might just be like, hey, just a reminder, I'll be available at 12:31. Come on back at that point. Not available right now.
Yeah, and even the example you gave, Jill, with the starting the meeting is on time. I'm amazed at how often I go to an event, a meeting, a conference, whatever it might be, and it's going to start at 10 o'clock. And at 10 o'clock, the facilitator says, we're just going to give it a few more minutes for the rest of the people to come. You're training people to be late to your meeting. And so if you get clear and say, I start meetings on time, the consequence, and you say, we're going to be starting on time. And if you're late, you're going to have to find the information that you missed. I'm not going to go back and repeat everything that we just talked about. You train people to get there early and be ready to go at the top of the hour. And that's the consequence. And again, it doesn't need to be harsh or negative. It's just, this is a matter of fact.
And so those are the 3 tips. And also want to recognize, and I love, this was one of the things that came out in the workout, is that one of the takeaways from one of the participants was, I'm making progress on this and I'm still working on it. And so just like with so many topics that we cover in the gym, this is one of those that, okay, you might know, you know it theoretically, you know the content, and then it takes some time to practice, and it takes some time to actually see what works, and to say, okay, well, why am I having such a difficult time getting clear on what's okay and what's not okay? What's holding me back from communicating that? What's getting in the way of me actually enforcing that boundary? Because wouldn't it just be nice if everybody just listened to your boundary right away, Darcy? Like that should just be how it is, right?
It would be so
Right.
wonderful. And I love that comment that one of the participants made is I'm doing better and I still need training, because that's the whole focus and the goal of the gym, is that you need to train and practice to keep improving so you can have peak performance in life and work. And just like if you run a 5K, you're like, yes, I'm fit. But you have to then keep running and keep lifting weights and keep working out to maintain that fitness. It's the same way with setting boundaries, with communicating your expectations, with being able to find the win-win in a relationship, and communicate when you're feeling frustrated or a tough message. All of that takes training and practice. So we would love to invite you, if you're curious, like, what is this gym? We have free workouts. Usually it's twice a month. And so you can go to darcyloma.com. You can sign up and get on our mailing list so that you will be alerted when the next free workout is, and you can sign up and join us and invest in your own development and training and practice. Such a pleasure to be with you all, and happy Thoughtfully Fit training. Great to see you. Thanks.